Ever wonder what's the difference between ever ever wonder the difference between an apricot, a peach, a cherry, and a plum? This video is for you. So we have here is a flowering apricot, and one of the indications that this is a flowering apricot is the petals or the flowering only occurs only one per of those branchlets, unlike some of its other family members like peaches and cherries, especially cherries, where we have multiple coming from the same spot. So that's one easy indication to identify as a apricot. All right, so this is a late indication that it is a apricot. It is one of the first to produce some type of fruit. You noticed flowering will be one of the first to show up in the season, like the beginning of the year, early December sometimes. This year was December just because we had the heat wave that's early, so that gives you an indication. While everything is actually flowering, these guys would be out of flower and having fruit, so you know that's an apricot. Alrighty, so this is a peach. This is actually a fruiting peach, not a flowering peach. I actually have one of those too, to give you an idea. So a peach tree, if you look at where, like where my thumb is, where they are attached, they're usually no more than one or two in the same spot, not multiples. I like that peach. Usually they like to be clustered like this, but they're gonna be on the same branchlet like that, but they're not going to be multiples in the same spot, no more than two usually, and usually in that same spike area, in the flowering spike I call it. They're gonna be on their own separate connection. Flower wise, I'm not sure you can see that one very clearly. Stamens and the male portion very similar, but the pistil usually on a flowering or on a fruiting peach is a little larger, but that's not an indication. Again, peaches can be that white. It could be a double, like this is a double flower, I think. Oh, no, this is single. And then apricots are very similar to peaches, timing wise too. So peaches are right in between cherries and apricots. So usually it's apricot comes first, then it's going to be the peach, and then finally be the cherry, and then usually plums are usually right after that. So that's seasonal. So this is like the middle guy, call it. Alrighty, here's one of my favorite peaches that I own. It's a flowering peach. So this one does not produce any fruit. So this is like that variegated speckled, could be this white with variegation with this pink, or on the same branch it could be solid. So this is a flowering peach. Again, this is called peppermint peach. I think Mel had a couple of this at some of the shows. Very spectacular in flower. I'll pan back and see what it looks like in a full bloom here. But again, if you notice, only one per one of those nodes, or no more than two. There's a tour, no more than two per note, unlike the cherry, which is multiple, and then of course apricot's only one, so that's a really good indication. Again, this one does not fruit, so it's a flowering, and it's going to be mid-season, but be one of the middle ones to bloom. So let me zoom out. So that's what it looks like, and almost done this year. You can see it's just like it's kind of interesting listening to horticulturalists that the red, it's a dominant color. So once it has red, that branch will always be red, and then the variegated ones, these guys will always produce reds. When it has a red, it will produce red eventually. So it's kind of interesting on the dynamics. I did mark it. You can see that branch is red, and that branch will always be red, and then this one's going to be that peppermint color. So this tree was about I think 3 years old now, or yeah, about three years in the ground, so get some indication. All right, now this is a wild peach. So this was given, or actually this is given to me by Joe Gaugul, Big Joe. It was in his yard he wanted to get rid of, so I said, give it to me because you got it. I'm gonna graft the peppermint peach onto this guy because this stalk is mighty big here. Okay, and another reason I know this is a wild peach is because it doesn't come, usually peaches are grafted, they'll come in a single stem, but this one had multiples, so that was one indication. And it does fruit. The fruit's not very good because I tried one. It's mere mealy, so it is a wild type, I call it. But again, it's indication only 2 per stem. Really good indication that this is a peach tree, especially this late in the season. Alright, so the series on the Prunus family, I'm getting a lot of questions about how do you tell the difference between a cherry, a peach, an apricot / plum. So one indication is sometimes the flower shape will give you a great indication. So this is a cherry. If you look at cherries, one of the most obvious ways for cherries is look at how the flowers, in this case, come out of the stem. See, have you noticed that in this particular case, right by my thumb, you can see a lot of the flowers are coming out of one spot. Usually when it comes out in multiple like this is an indication that it's a cherry tree or a cherry flower. Color doesn't really make a difference. Cherries usually come in white, pink, kind of like the reddish dark pink, but that gives you an indication of the size. Also, the trunk doesn't really give you a great indication because they all are from the same family. This is a choke cherry. You can see by the flowering, it's coming all from one node right there. It's all coming from one node. So long stem here. So this is a cherry tree, a choke cherry. Not sure what it's called in the Latin name of it, but I'll probably look it up eventually. But it produces, interesting, it doesn't flower first. It actually produces leaves and flower all at the same time. So not as spectacular, but you do have these white cluster of flowers everywhere. Yeah. Now, as I asked, I'm going to ask again, do you think a cherry tree would make a really good bonsai? To be continued. Alrighty, so this is one of my smallest cherry trees I have. This is a bush cherry or a Nanking cherry. I got this from Bob Pressler a good couple years ago now. I've been growing it out. You can see the growth habits, and this one's very interesting. It does not follow those rules I talked about earlier, but they do come off the same flowering node here. So you can see there are 2, not multiple. So that's something different about this tree. This is a cherry, but it's really a bush cherry. It's also a Prunus family. Prunus, it sounds like tomato, Tetamatalis. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it does produce fruit. It's edible. It's really cool looking. But I'm gonna grow this out really even smaller and cut it back really hard and kind of reproduce it. But it's one of these cooler flowers. Check this out. This is like mid-season too. So if you need bonsai, this might be the ticket, and especially in North America. All right, got a plum. So this is a I don't even know the name of this plum. This is a Santa Rosa. I think this is a Santa Rosa plum. You notice it's just flowering versus the peach has already been in full bloom. Plums will come in pairs like this or singles. That's another indication. Flowers are very similar to what they had before. Sorry, a little blurry. So again, they're part of the same family. So that's another indication for plums. You're looking for the flowers. You can see this one right by my middle finger. There's 2 of them coming from the same stem area. And they're not like clustered like the peach, so the flower habit's a little different. Again, this is going to be one of the later of the series, so it's going to be apricot, peach, cherry, and then plum's gonna be last usually. All right, you probably recognize this type of plum. This is that red leaf plum. It's ornamental, but it has flower. You can see this flower, and it's only, this is going to be one at a time, or one at a stem in this case. This one's actually edible, surprisingly. I did ask Lindsay, is this red type of ornamental plum edible, and apparently it is very edible. I tried it last year and the year before. Very sweet. This is very small, like small as like nickel size, quarter size, really small, very sweet plum, and it's very sparse. And the fun part is the leaf color and the color of the fruit looks exactly the same. So it's almost like an Easter egg looking for the fruit itself. So that's to give you another. Let me look it up. Not a cherry tree or plum or part of the Prunus family, but I thought it's kind of cool. Dogwood. How many dogwoods have you seen as a bonsai? Now that's a cool question to ask. Alrighty, so now you've seen an apricot, you've seen a peach, you see a plum, and a cherry tree. Now it's your turn. So this is the wild type that was collected by, the seed was collected by Lindsay Shiba from China. Here's a flower. It's white, doesn't have a strong sepal, or the strong pistil, excuse me, the female portion. It's only one flower per node. The leaf are kind of interesting too. Here's the leafage. You can look at the leaf. Here's the leaf. Okay. Now, in the comments, what do you think? Is it an apricot? Is it a peach? Is it a cherry? Or is it a plum? Now, this is actually blooming pretty late, I would say. But yeah, what do you think? Leave your guesses in the comment. Love to hear it. And the reason why you chose it for either as an apricot, a peach, a cherry, or a plum. Okay, it is part of the Prunus family, we do know it, but the question is, which one is it? And now the really big question, could Prunus family be part of the bigger picture of becoming bonsais? Well, let me turn this camera around. Now the age-old question, could Prunus be used for bonsai? Of course it could be. That was a rhetorical question. You know that ume is a part of the apricot family, the flowering apricot family. It is used in bonsai, so we know that could use to be bonsai. It has a really hard dead wood. I mean, this has been dead for a while. It's still going strong. It does flower. You notice it does flower. It does fruit too. It is edible too if you want to eat it, but it's pretty sour. But it could be used for bonsai. Now, could cherry trees used for bonsai? Of course, there is very specific types of cherry trees that are used for bonsai. Really small miniature ones. I'll show you one. I'll show you a choke cherry, which is a native American cherry or ground cherry, a bush cherry. And then, of course, peaches. Peaches could be used. The only problem with the peaches is the wood is not as hard as ume. It's a little softer, and then they're not very long lived. So again, umes are like what they call long living peaches. They do have a long lifespan, about 200 years. And then peaches, usually about 25 years, about 10 years, they start petering out, like producing fruit if you want, something like that. But then they really start dying out around 25 to like 50. They're not very long living. Cherries, they're pretty long living, but again, you know, it's still growing in size. And then plums, interesting. There are a couple plums, plum bonsai out there. Michael Robert has one. That's from his dad's nursery. It's a you can ask him what type of plum it is, but it is designed to be a bonsai. So yes, you can technically make any these prunus become bonsai. The question is, do you have the time and dedication to do it? That's the different story. But yeah, if you guys have watched this video so far, thank you for watching. I do really appreciate you guys watching. Give me a thumbs up, and of course, answer that one question: what kind of what kind of flower or what kind of plant do you think that Hong Kong, the China Great Wall China tree is? Is it an apricot? Is it a peach? Is it a cherry? Or is it a plum? So I see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye now.